All right. Now, all right, we are going to go ahead and get started with our weights class today. So all you need is a mat, space to move around just a little bit, and medium and light weights if you have them. If not, just the one set is fine. So we're going to start with our normal warm up, feet about hip width apart, just swinging your arms side to side, lightly tapping around your hip area, bringing a little motion in through your back, maybe a little bit of gentle motion through your shoulders, your arms. 2 more to each side. And then bring it back into center. Nice big circles going forward. And then make those circles go the other way. And then throw your arms in and out across your chest. All right, moving into our nice dynamic side bends. Just reaching up and over, stretching through that side body a little. One more to each side. And then moving down into our elbows. Nice big circles in one direction. And then go the other way. And then down into your wrists. And go the other way. Flick those fingers in and out, loosening up, waking up your grip, making sure you're ready to hold on to those dumbbells. Beautiful. From here, moving down into our lower body. If you're seated, you're just popping your knees side to side, moving through your hips. If you're standing, nice big hip circles in one direction. And then, you know it, go the other way. If you're seated here, go ahead and bring your feet a little further apart. Do some nice wide windshield wipers with those knees. Beautiful. If you're seated, moving into your knees, you're just swinging them back and forth. If you're standing, start with bopping them forward and back. And if everything feels good there, add a little rotation. If that rotation doesn't feel good, go back to the forward and back bopping. But if you're rotating, go the other way. Beautiful. And then down to your ankles. Pick one foot up, point and flex. One more time, pointing and flexing, and then move into some nice ankle rotations. And go the other way. Switch sides, starting with the point and flex. One more here. And then moving into that ankle rotation. Go the other way. Before we finish off, we're going to wake up all the way down to the tips of our toes. So spreading your toes nice and wide, push them into the ground, maybe even lean forward just a little bit, and then lean back. Raise those toes, still spreading them nice and wide, and then forward again. Pressing down into the ground, waking up through the bottoms of your feet, and then back. lifting those toes up as high as you can. And one more, forward and back. Beautiful. All right, I think we've woken everything up now. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our weights, and we're gonna start off with something nice and simple, a split stance deadlift. It has kind of a complicated name, but I promise it's easy. So you're gonna take both feet and put them hip width apart, and then step one foot back behind you, up on the balls of your feet, holding your weights in front, leaning over and standing back up. Focus on keeping a nice straight back here. We've got 1 minute on the clock. I didn't get my clock ready. Okay, now we've got 1 minute on the clock, and go. Beautiful, you got this. Pressing up through the heel on that front leg. So you're really engaging through your back body, through your glutes, through the back of that leg. Nice, looking good. More than halfway there. Go moderate on your weight for these deadlifts. A lot of us, because we're using big muscles, can lift heavier on the deadlift, but we're gonna be doing a lot of reps today. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your weight. Almost there. And time, beautiful. Set those weights down for just a second. Roll through those shoulders and then pick them back up, and we're going the other way. So take the other foot, put it behind you, and we're still deadlifting. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. You can have as big a bend in that front knee as you need to. We're working the muscles, not necessarily worried about stretching. So if you're feeling tight through your hamstring there, go ahead and bend that knee. Make it feel right for you. Beautiful, love that nice flat back. Keeping your head, neck, and back in a straight line. Looking good. More than halfway there. Five more seconds. And time. Beautiful. All right, set those down for just a second. Shake those shoulders out again. Maybe stretch the arms up overhead. A little brief side bend each direction. And then we're gonna go into a hammer curl with an overhead press. So for this one, seated or standing, feet parallel, keeping the dumbbells turned so your palms are facing in towards your legs. Curl it up, press it up. Lower it to your shoulder, come all the way down. Make sure you do all the parts. 1 minute, here we go. Slow and steady here. When you lower it all the way down, let it melt down. Really soften those shoulders before you go in for another round. Beautiful. Check in with your breathing here. First set, maybe taking it a little slow, getting the form down, finishing your warm up, getting your body moving. Make sure as part of that, that you can also breathe smoothly through all your exercises. 5 more seconds, which is basically 1 rep, and time. All right, set those weights down, shake everything out. For this one, you might want to move to a little bit lighter weight. We're going to do a front raise into a tricep extension. So if you're doing two separate weights, lighter weights are in order. You're going to come all the way up and then lower it behind your head and then come all the way back down. You can also do it with just one dumbbell, in which case you might want to go a little heavier, bringing it all the way up, lowering it behind your head. 1 minute. Here we go. The keys for this exercise are keeping your belly nice and tight, pulling your ribs in towards each other, and then keeping your elbows in nice and tight, close to your ears. Beautiful. It's exactly the same seated or standing. Just make sure if you're seated that you're scooted forward to the edge of your chair, so you're not bumping into the back of the chair when you lower that weight. Perfect. Now you can hold the dumbbell in whichever grip is more comfortable for you. And that goes for one dumbbell or two, whatever makes it work for you. One more here. And time. Beautiful. Set that down for a second. Again, shake those shoulders out. We're doing a lot of upper body today. From here, we're going to go into rows plus flies. So again, you might want to grab a little lighter weight for these. Leaning forward to your at least 45 degrees, if you comfortably can do that with a nice flat back. You're going to row it up and then fly it out. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Row it up, fly it out. Nice and simple. Check in again with your breathing. Make sure you're still breathing smoothly. And the focus for both of these exercises is squeezing your shoulder blades together. You're really working your back muscles. Over halfway there. One more. And time. All right. Last but not least, and again, you might want to go a little light on this one. We're going to do a press out with a twist and push. So again, you can do two weights, go a little lighter, push out in the center, and then push to each side. Or you can do one weight, but then you got to switch hands. So pressing out, push, pressing out, push. Choose your own adventure. Here we go. If you want to work your brain a little, make it a little more of a coordination exercise as well as muscle work, you can do the one weight. Keep a soft bend in your elbows here. Make sure you're not extending all the way, putting strain on that elbow joint. Twenty more seconds. And time. Beautiful. That's your first set done. Grab some water, and then we're going to do it again. All right, guys, bring it back in. from here, we are back to those deadlifts. Now, I didn't show the seated version on the first one, but if you're doing the seated version, you're just sitting to the edge of your chair, still 1 foot in front, 1 foot in back, leaning forward, pressing into the heel on that front leg. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Make sure you're really pushing into that front leg. That's going to help you, especially in the seated version, keep the lower body engaged as well as working through your back. You're halfway there. And if you're doing the standing version, driving into that heel will help you build a little more of that explosive power, which is key if you're trying to, like, you know, catch yourself from falling or something like that. You need to have that power. 5 more seconds here. And time. All right, shake it out for just a second. And then we're going to switch sides. Here we go. Nice and steady, nice flat back. If you're doing the seated version, you can go a little faster just because your range of motion is a little less here. But either way, you don't want to rush it. You want to really take the time to engage those muscles. Halfway done here. You guys look fantastic. Almost there. And time. Excellent. Set those down for a second. Roll through those shoulders for just a moment. And then we're going on to that hammer curl with the overhead press. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Curl, press it up, lower it down, and then right back to start. Remember to take that moment at the bottom to let everything sink down for just a second. Fully relax the muscles before you engage them again. Halfway there. Looking good. Still keeping that soft bend in the elbow, especially on that overhead press. And time. Excellent. Shake it out and then choose your own adventure for the front raise with the tricep extension. 1 weight or 2, seated or standing. If you're seated, bring your legs apart so you have room to lower that weight all the way down. Here we go. All the way up. Elbows in tight. Ribs sucked in together. Beautiful. People ask sometimes, how do I know what weight to use? So this is a great exercise that gives you an easy cue for what weight to use. Because if you can lift the weight without any strain, it's probably a little too light. But if you're trying to lift it and you're having to really arch your back to bring it back over or to bring it up, it's probably too heavy. You want to be able to sit up nice and tall, moving the weight with a little effort, but not so much that your upper body's moving all around. Almost done. And time. Perfect. All right, from here, moving into our rows plus our flies. So 2 weights, seated or standing, either way. Lean forward, and here we go. Row it up and fly it out. Keeping that soft bend in the elbows and squeezing the shoulder blades together. Halfway done. If you're doing this seated, keep pushing into the bottoms of those feet so that you're still keeping those leg muscles activated. Still getting a little lower body work here. And time. Excellent. All right. Shake those arms out, roll through the shoulders. And then we have our press out plus our twist and push. I'm sweating today for sure. All right, here we go. Press out, twist and push. Back to center, and then go the other way. Beautiful. Soft bend in the elbows. Slow it down a little bit on this one. Really make sure you're going the same speed in and out at our push-pull exercise here, plus a little rotational exercise. "15 more seconds. You got this." The more you turn your torso, the more you're working those side obliques. And time. Whew. That is 2 sets done. All right, grab some water. 1 set left to go. All right, bring it back in. We are back around to those deadlifts. So grab the weights that are right for you. 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind. 1 minute on the clock. Beautiful. You know the form at this point. Flat back, head, neck, and back in the straight line. You look amazing. Halfway done. All right, from here, slow it down. Nice and slow, all the way down, all the way up. Keep it going. Slow. Really feeling all those muscles work. 1 more like that. Beautiful. And then back to your regular pace. 5 more seconds. And time. Maybe do a little back bend here. Work through those back muscles just for a moment. And then we're switching sides. All right, here we go. All the same performance points. It's what we call them in the fitness industry. Got to use the fancy words. Talk about your performance points. You don't really have to, it's okay. But you do want to make sure you're hitting them so that you have good form and you're doing things in a safe way. Halfway done. All right, slow it down. We're going to do those super slow. Feeling the muscle engagement through the back body. Beautiful. One more like that. And then back to your regular pace. Finish out those last 5 seconds. Nice. All right. Set those weights down. Roll through those shoulders for just a second. And then up next, we have that hammer curl with the overhead press. 1 minute. Here we go. Perfect. Now it's tempting here to let your arms swing back behind you and use the momentum here to curl it up. But if you do that, you're cheating the muscle engagement there. So try not to let it swing. Just lower it straight down, let it melt, and then raise it straight back up. 20 more seconds. You got this. Still breathing, by the way. Breathing's always important. 5 seconds to go. And time. Shake those arms out. And then we are on to our front raise with our tricep extension. 1 minute. Here we go. All the way up. Elbows tight. Beautiful. Lower that weight down as far behind your head as you can. If you can get it all the way down to where it touches your shoulders, great. If not, that's okay. Not everybody's elbows like that particular position. So just do as much as feels comfortable and safe in your body. $15 seconds to go here. If you can, pause right there, really engaging those triceps, holding it out parallel to the floor. 1 more second here, and then keep going. And time. Beautiful. All right, 1 more, shaking that shoulder out. And then onto our rows plus our flies. Here we go. Rowing it up, flying it out. Rowing it up, flying it out. Nice. You got this. It's okay to keep a big bend in your knees here too. Remember, we're not trying to stretch the hamstrings. We're trying to work the muscles. So have as much bend as you need. And if you find that after all the work we've been doing in our backs, you're getting a little sore, you can actually do this exercise standing up as well. It'll just work the muscles a little differently. So choose your own adventure here, just like in everything else we do. You got this. 5 more seconds. Pull it in and squeeze. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And time. Beautiful. All right, last thing is that press out and twist and push. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Pressing it out, twist and push. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna do one in slow motion here too. Push it out as slow as you can. Really engage those chest muscles. And then pull it in just as slow. And then back to your twists. One more, super slow. And then back to your twists. And time. Nice job. That is all 3 sets. Grab some water and then we're going to do our final stretch. All right, make sure your space is clear and those weights are out of your way. If you have a chair handy, you can sit down if you'd like. Otherwise, feet hip width apart. Take a nice deep breath. Bring your arms up overhead. And then exhale as you fold forward. And then roll right back up. Bring your arms up overhead again. Big inhale. This time leaning to one side. Coming back to center and going to the other side. Coming back to center. And one more big fold forward, reaching towards the ground. Big bend in your knees, roll it all the way up. Sink those shoulders down and back. Take one arm, bring it across your body. Squeeze it in nice and tight. And then you're going to drop one ear over towards that front shoulder. Just as far as feels good in your neck. Take one more moment here, one more nice big breath. Let it all out. And then bring your head right back up and release. Go to the other side. Squeeze that arm in. Make sure your shoulder's down away from your chin. And then if it feels good for you, drop your ear over to one side. And pause here. Take another one of those nice big breaths. Let it all out. And then bring your head back up to center and release. From here, we are going to lean forward again, get that nice flat back. We're just going to swing our arms in gentle little circles in one direction. We're just massaging our rotator cuff here. And then gentle little circles in the other direction. And then again, big bend in the knees, come right back up. Taking one foot, putting it out in front, leaning forward till you get a good stretch through the back of the leg. Keep your toes planted for this one. That way you'll feel a stretch through your lower leg, but also through that hamstring. This time we are stretching the hamstring. And then from here, you can rock back, pull that toe up so that you get more of that stretch through the calf. One more moment here. Put that foot back down, come all the way up, and then switch sides. Keeping the toe planted first, leaning forward, feeling more of that stretch through the upper leg. Taking a breath. And then pulling those toes up, maybe feeling that shift from stretching the upper leg into the lower leg. And plant those toes, come all the way up. And you are all done. Fantastic job today. Thank you for coming out to play with me. I will see you next week.